Hello and welcome to New Verdict 2017. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor with you. And in the next 30 minutes, I'll be getting you all the news and updates from poll-bound states as well as special reports by our reporters who are on the ground, bringing us the close insights from these battle areas. Let's start with the headlines. Election Commission asks RBI to enhance a weekly withdrawal limit for candidates contesting polls to 2 lakh rupees, says that they are struggling to meet poll expenses. Punjab Congress expels 7 rebel candidates permanently for refusing to withdraw from poll race, accuses them of indulging in anti-party activities. Congress complains to Election Commission against BJP's Uttar Pradesh Unit Chief Keshav Prasad Maurya, complaint for allegedly rigging up a Ram temple issue. And our focus today are villages in Uttarakhand that fall under the reserve forest area. These villages lack basic amenities like electricity, transport and medical facilities. The top story this afternoon, well, the Election Commission has requested the Reserve Bank of India to enhance the weekly cash withdrawal limit of candidates contesting polls in 5 states. Now, the Election Commission had asked the RBI to increase the cash limit to 2 lakh rupees from the 24,000 rupees imposed post demonetization, as they would find it difficult to meet their campaign expenditure. Well, the Commission said that the returning officer of the constituency will issue certificate that the person is a candidate in fray and he or she be allowed to withdraw 2 lakh rupees cash per week from the bank account opened specially to meet electioneering expenses. The EC said that facility will be extended till 11th of March, which is the day of counting. Well, the candidates are bound to open an election account for meeting their poll-related expenditure, which is monitored by the Election Commission. Well, this came after the poll body was apprised about the problem being faced by the candidates due to the imposition of limits of cash withdrawal from banks post-demonetization. Currently, a person can withdraw up to 10,000 rupees a day from ATMs. However, they cannot withdraw more than 24,000 rupees in a week from banks and ATMs. News from poll-bound Punjab, and the Congress there has expelled its 7 rebel candidates permanently for refusing to withdraw from the poll race even after they were warned by State Party President Amarinder Singh. Now, expelled members include Ashok Sharma, Gurbinder Singh Atwal, Jagmeet Singh Sahota, Hemraj Agarwal, Manjeet Singh Maan, Amarjeet Singh Ganu and Rajinder Deepa. Now, according to late-night statement by the party, the 7 members have been expelled permanently for indulging in anti-party activities and will not be taken back into the party fold under any circumstances. Well, my colleague Shyam Sundar is now joining us from Patiala. Shyam, now Congress knows that the stakes in these elections are really high, especially for its leadership. Hence, it has come down heavily on those who failed to toe the party line.
Definitely, because for Congress, it's a do and die battle in Punjab. They are out of power for last 10 years and Akali BJP combination is ruling the state. But in this election, they feel that there is an anti-incumbency factor which is working against the ruling combination and they stand a chance. And so they are putting everything which is required in these elections. But of course, leaders who have rebelled against the party and they are contesting elections or working against the party interest in these elections, senior leaders are attacking them and they are trying to portray that the leadership is in command and they are going to win this election. But let me tell you, because in this election, this is not a traditional battle between ruling combination Akali Dal and BJP and Congress. Aam Aadmi Party is in the fray. And in last Lok Sabha elections, we have seen especially areas like in Malwa, Ludhiana and other areas where they performed really good. So this time stakes are really high for Congress ruling alliance of BJP and Akali Dal and also for Aam Aadmi Party.
Right. And also now parallelly now Navjot Singh Sidhu is going all guns blazing. He's using his gift of gab and shooting those one-liners, showing an aggressive campaigning against the Badals, as well as inviting a spat with Bikram Singh Majithia as well.
Well, that is the role for Navjot Singh Sidhu, which Congress is looking for. He is a star campaigner. He is contesting from Amritsar, but party is using Navjot Singh Sidhu in all constituencies of the state. And he's ex-cricketer and a TV personality, and he is a very good orator also. And his style of speaking really pulls crowd into his meetings, and that's why there is demand in every area where Congress feels that he can help. And of course, there are few, you can say that this is the last week, and party will try to use Sidhu more and more. Of course, there are controversies, and Akali Dal is complaining against Navjot Singh Sidhu. But
yes,
as far as perception is matters, Sidhu is really working hard, and he is helping party to put the party in a strong position in these elections.
Right, but we can't stop wondering, Shyam, that Amrinder Singh is the face of the Congress initiative everywhere. So what is really stopping the party to declare him as the chief ministerial candidate?
Well, we asked this question to Mr. Shakil Ahmed, who is a central leader. He was in Punjab yesterday, but he made it very clear that Captain Amrinder Singh is the face of the Congress party in Punjab, and he was chief minister here. And in last elections also, we seen that in last leg of the elections, Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi, in a public meeting, he declared Captain Amrinder Singh as chief ministerial candidate. So it's a formality. Because there are many senior leaders, and there are factions like Pratap Singh Bajwa and others, and Navjot Singh Sidhu is there. But in Punjab, whether party declares Captain Amrinder Singh as chief ministerial candidate or not, but for public it is very, very clear that it is Captain Amrinder Singh who is leading the campaign of Congress, and if party wins, he is going to be the chief minister. Of course, party has to take a stand, and if it takes a stand that he is going to be the chief ministerial candidate, it may create some kind of difference, but I don't think that that difference will be a big difference for Congress.
Absolutely. So Congress throwing its full might into that elections, especially it knows that the stakes are really high for the party in Punjab. Thank you so much, Asham, for all those updates there. And now the Congress party has also complained to the Election Commission against the BJP's Uttar Pradesh unit chief Keshav Prasad Maurya. Well, the complaint is for allegedly raking up the contentious Ram Temple issue during the election campaign, despite the Supreme Court order not to seek votes in the name of religion. Well, the party has sought exemplary punishment and also a derecognition of BJP. Well, Congress Secretary, Legal and Human Rights Department, K.C. Mittal, in a letter to the Chief Election Commissioner, also demanded that BJP be derecognized and its lotus symbol be withdrawn. Now, Maurya, remember, again raked up the issue of Ram Temple ahead of the first phase of UP elections, allegedly saying that the Grand Temple will be built in Ayodhya if BJP secures an outright majority. All right, so Congress, they're writing a letter to the Chief Election Commissioner complaining about one of the statements that one of its leaders, Keshav Prasad Maurya, had made. And for more details on this, let's go across to my colleague Kriti Mishra, who's joining us live from Agra. Kriti, now, despite that Supreme Court orders and also EC asking political parties to not seek votes in the name of religion, again, we are seeing political leaders not being discouraged and again making these controversial statements. And as far as Keshav Prasad Maurya is concerned, he's now saying that his statements have been misconstrued, isn't it?
That's right, Aishwarya. If you remember that the Ram Mandir issue catapulted the BJP to power in 1990s, both in UP at the centre. So probably BJP is looking to replicate that kind of success in the high stakes political arena of Uttar Pradesh. So of course, UP BJP chief Keshav Prasad Maurya saying that Ram Mandir would be built if they are given absolute majority. So the matter is right now sub judice in the Supreme Court. So experts say that probably this is an attempt by the BJP to polarize votes ahead of Western Uttar Pradesh assembly elections. Remember, Muzaffarnagar riot had made the western belt of Uttar Pradesh extremely communally sensitive. So, of course, Election Commission, Congress has approached Election Commission saying that it has violated EC's norms in the wake of Supreme Court's judgment, where it has restricted making appeals for votes in the name of caste, religion and language. So now the ball is in EC's court. Aishwarya?
Absolutely, and perhaps we'll see more of such statements because it's just days to go for the UP polls. But speaking about Samajwadi Party Congress now, the campaign blitzkrieg is on. We saw Akhilesh Yadav now campaigning in Lakhimpur yesterday. He was accompanied by some local Congress leaders. But any details on SP leader now sharing dates with Rahul Gandhi?
Well, that's right. There are hectic parleys right now when the duo would share the days to give this message of unity of a united front. Although these issues are there, Aishwarya, but they also have to sort out several other issues, specifically pertaining to Amethi, where the Samajwadi Party has also fielded the candidate, and also Congress. So there are several issues, but both the parties are going to sit and talk about it and deliberate upon it. And very soon, both the parties, the SP and the Congress combined, are telling us that the leaders would share the days. Aishwarya?
All right, it might be a fine day as far as weather is concerned today, Kriti, but definitely the political heat is searing in Uttar Pradesh and elsewhere. Thank you so much for those details there. And as usual, the elections in Uttar Pradesh threw up an interesting cast of characters. Now, many of them fight as independent candidates. Curiously, it is not the prospect of winning or losing that keeps them going, but celebrating the festival of democracy. Now, Kriti Mishra profiles one such candidate who goes by the name of Fakkar Baba. Take a look.
Meet the first official candidate of Uttar Pradesh, the barefoot saffron-robed sadhu Fakkar Baba.
Ram Ram Jai Sumiran
The Baba who sings bhajans and recites the Ramayana for a living is a 6th standard pass-out. He lives in Galteshwar Mandir in Mathura's Govind Nagar area. His affidavit says he's a bachelor and has about 30,000 rupees to his name. Fakkar Baba begins his electioneering day early, distributing bananas, his election symbol. He has no hope of winning the election, but the 73-year-old is a compulsive candidate who has complete faith in his guru's prediction that he'll win the 20th election of his life.
समर्पित प्रत्याशी हैं। यहाँ मथुरा जिले में जो भी लोकसभा के और विधानसभा के प्रत्याशी हैं, ये समर्पित नहीं है। ये तो जनता से झूठा बोल करके, झूठे वादे कर करके और अपने पैसे के और धन बल पे और बाहुबल पे और इस पे ही चुनाव यहाँ से जीतते।
Fakkar Baba contested his first election in 1977. He got 5,000 votes then. Since then, he has contested the Lok Sabha elections 8 times and assembly elections 7 times from Mathura. His best performance till date was in 1991 when he polled 8,000 votes in a contest against the BJP's Sakshi Maharaj. Baba now has several female supporters.
मैं तो जहाँ तक है इतने सालों से मैं बाबा को ही वोट करती रही हूँ और आगे भी मैं बाबा को ही वोट करूंगी क्योंकि मैं किसी और को वोट नहीं करना चाहती। जितने भी लीडर्स जो हमारे यहाँ खड़े हुए हैं वो सिर्फ अपने लिए ही उन्होंने किया है अब तक।
Then there are critics who dismiss him as a headline grabber.
बाबा 16 बार से लड़ रहे हैं, लेकिन केवल अखबार की सुर्खियां दिखाई देती हैं, लेकिन पब्लिक में कुछ भी उत्साह दिखाई नहीं देता, कुछ भी नहीं होता।
In the 2014 national elections, Fakkar Baba spent 84,000 rupees, mostly donated by his disciples. With neither property nor house, he sleeps in night shelters and temples. All that he has is spent on fighting polls. Now that's true devotion for you.
Baba says that fighting elections has become a costly affair. He has borrowed 10,000 rupees for the deposit fee and he knows it would get forfeited. Fakkar Baba has no remorse for the continuous defeats and is only waiting for his 20th election, where he feels he would emerge victorious. Reporting from Mathura, with camera person Shiv Kumar, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
Well, that is one relentless mission, and with this, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news.
Ghatam, one of the oldest and most unique percussion instruments of southern India. You can play it not only with your fingers, but palms, wrists and heels as well. You'll be surprised, but the air inside the Ghatam reverberates, creating the musical notes. 5 elements of nature: earth, water, air, fire and space make up the composition of this beautiful musical piece, which has found an apt place in most of the ancient books.
Welcome back. Now, with assembly elections just round the corner in Goa, now local issues among voters seem to be heating up significantly. Now, this time voters have decided to choose their candidates based on their work. The elections in the state will happen on 4th of February, while chief contenders for the race include the BJP, AAP and the Congress.
Goans have a long list of demands from the political parties that are seeking their vote. With demonetization and inflation affecting every section of society, locals want a solution. Small traders say their earnings have dropped by almost 60% due to demonetization.
मेन मुद्दा रहना चाहिए डिमोनेटाइजेशन का। जो हुआ है उसका सही तरीके से और कुछ उसका उपाय निकाल के पब्लिकों के लिए सुविधा हो, बेहतर हो, और पैसा जो 500 और 1000 के जो नोट अभी तक जो बराबर मार्केट में आए नहीं हैं, दोबारा आ गए तो बेहतर होगा। उसके अलावा ट्रैफिक का काफ़ी मुद्दा है। जो रोडवेज हैं, हाईवेज में जो रोड हैं, गाड़ियां काफ़ी बढ़ रही हैं धीरे धीरे।
नुकसान तो बहुत ही पड़ा है। बिजनेस तो आप देखते हैं पूरा बिजनेस डाउन है। बिजनेस तो कुछ नहीं है, गरीब लोगों के लिए तो कुछ नहीं है। मोदी जी ने बोलता है कि इतना सारा काला पैसा पकड़ा, हम गरीबों के लिए वो करेगा, ये करेगा। गरीबों के लिए क्या किया है? अभी तक कुछ नहीं किया।
Corruption and unfulfilled promises made by leaders during campaigning is also an issue this time.
ये हर एक का फर्ज है, पैसा हर एक को मांगता, लेकिन विकास किया है, लेकिन यू टर्न बहुत किया और विकास के नाम से पैसा किया, ये भी कुछ खटकता है। ये भी इनडायरेक्ट एक टाइप ऑफ करप्शन। इतना करप्शन है, अपने आप लोगों को ये काम देते हैं। तुम कितना भी होशियार हो, आदमी की जो पारख होती है, निरीक्षण, ऑब्जर्वेशन, कैपेसिटी, वो आज दुनिया में नहीं दिखाई देता है।
Goa has 40 assembly constituencies. All 40 will go to polls on February 4th. This time, the ruling BJP is facing challenge from both the Congress and the new entrant Aam Aadmi Party. Ravindra Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And with elections in Goa barely 10 days away now, the Election Commission is taking all necessary measures to ensure peaceful, free and fair polls. Our correspondent Ravindra Singh Shivaram now caught up with the Joint Chief Electoral Officer of Goa, Narayan Navti, to talk about the arrangements. Let's take a listen.
हमने पूरे कॉलेजेस जो गोवा में है, उन कॉलेज के बच्चों के स्टूडेंट के साथ इंटरेक्शन रखा था और उनसे एक ओथ हम लेते हैं कि इस चुनाव में वो तो शामिल हो जाएंगे, वो तो वोट करेंगे और उनका जो फैमिली मेंबर्स है और नेबर्स है, वो भी उनको भी वो बोलेंगे कि जाके वोट करो। ऐसा तो ये चलता है। इसके सिवाय हमारे ऑफिस की तरफ से फेसबुक, ट्विटर, व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप, इस पर भी हम इलेक्शन के बारे में, इलेक्शन यानी कि एथिकल वोटिंग के बारे में जानकारी दे रहे हैं।
टूरिज्म का वक्त है, पूरा सीजन पीक पे है, ऐसे में ज्यादा लोग वोट डालने के लिए आएंगे, ये उनके लिए दिक्कत की बात नहीं होगी।
नहीं, देखो 2012 में जब हमने इलेक्शन चुनाव करवाया था, उस समय भी टूरिज्म सीजन था, क्योंकि वो चुनाव 3 मार्च को हुआ था, जो पीक टूरिस्ट सीजन रहता है। इस बार भी फरवरी है, पीक टूरिस्ट सीजन है, लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि पूरा चुनाव शांति और अच्छे ढंग से हो जाएगा।
यहाँ पर बहुत कम, अभी तक केवल 15-16 लाख रुपए तक ही का कैश या ड्रग्स पकड़ी गई है, जबकि जो 5 दूसरे स्टेट्स में चुनाव हो रहा है, 4 वहां पर लाखों करोड़ों रुपए की अभी तक पकड़ी गई। तो ये क्या लगता है कि यहाँ की जनता ऐसी है कि आप लोगों की सख्ताई के कारण ऐसा हो रहा है?
नहीं, हर बार चुनाव के समय वो ड्रग्स हो या और कोई पेडलिंग हो, वो बहुत कंट्रोल में रहता है। गोवा में तो जब चुनाव डिक्लेयर हो गया, तो हमारा पहला ये था कि हमने बैनर्स, सभी बैनर्स निकाले, और दूसरा है कि जो लॉ इन्फोर्सिंग अथॉरिटीज है, उनको बोल दिया कि जो इलीगल एक्टिविटीज चल रही है, यानी कि ज्यादातर मड़का डांस यहाँ थे, सभी बंद करवा दिए हैं।
इस बारे में कुछ जो राजनीतिक दल है वो भाषा की बात कर रहे हैं, और तो आप लोग इस बार चुनाव में किस तरीके से उन पे कड़ी नजर रखेंगे, और खासतौर पे जब सुप्रीम कोर्ट का आदेश आ गया है?
नहीं, ये तो पहले भाषा के बारे में पहले चल रहा है था, लेकिन जब से चुनाव डिक्लेयर हो गया है, यहाँ से गोवा के लिए जब चुनाव डिक्लेयर हो गया है, तब से उन्होंने भाषा का नाम या भाषा का रेफरेंस देना बंद करवा दिया है।
Time for some special reports. This one is coming in from Uttarakhand. Well, over 60 villages in Uttarakhand come under the reserve forest area, which means that locals living in these villages lack even a basic survival facilities like electricity and local transport. Well, our correspondent Dilip Khan sends us this report from one such village in Ramnagar district, where lack of development remains a big issue apart from migration.
Carved out 17 years ago as a hill state from Uttar Pradesh, the state of Uttarakhand is still struggling to provide basic necessities to its remote forest villages. Over 1,800 voters live in the small Patrani village in Ramnagar district, which still lacks road, electricity, even a hospital. One of the promises which still remain unfulfilled is to get the status of revenue village for Patrani.
राजनीतिक पार्टियां यहाँ पे जो है आती है जाती है और आश्वासन बहुत सारे दे जाते हैं, तो लास्ट में इलेक्शन बीत जाने के बाद तो कोई मुड़ता नहीं है। फिर
क्यों हमें लोकसभा विधानसभा में यूज किया जाता है? हमें ग्राम, जिला, क्षेत्र पंचायत से क्यों ना जोड़ा जाता है? एकमात्र लोकसभा और विधानसभा के लिए हमें वोटिंग के लिए यूज किया जाता है, और ग्राम पंचायत की वोटों के लिए हमें छोड़ दिया जाता है।
ज्यादातर तो हमें दुख है कि हमारे जंगल में शेर हाथियों का ज्यादा खतरा है, और हमारे न कोई रोड है न कोई पब्लिक, जंगल जाना मुश्किल है हमारे लिए। बच्चों का भविष्य, हमारा बच्चा यहाँ से कहीं अच्छे स्कूल में नहीं पढ़ सकता, जंगल में उसे पार करने के लिए हमें एक आदमी उसकी फी चाहिए।
All three candidates contesting from Ramnagar constituency have promised a dedicated bus service for the village. Meanwhile, this bus, which arrived in Patrani after weeks, only came to gather supporters for the candidates. Like previous elections, this time around too, voters are hoping for basic development for this hamlet.
ये हमारी स्थिति है। वोट के लिए तो हम रात दिन इधर उधर भागते रहते हैं, मगर इस गांव में कोई भी व्यवस्था है ही नहीं। हमारी मांग ये है कि हमें राजस्व ग्राम हमें चाहिए, जो हमें राजस्व ग्राम का दर्जा देगा, बस हम यही चाहते हैं।
उधर आ रहा, इधर आ रहा, चलो किसमें जाओ, वहाँ गाड़ी का रास्ता नहीं है, पैदल आओ। क्या हमारे पैर इतने फालतू हो रहे हैं? नहीं, हमारा जो यहाँ वो करेगा, हम उसी को सब वोट भी देंगे और हम उसी का भला भी करेंगे, बस।
इंदिरा से वन विभाग ने जो है हमारे ऊपर ऐसा षड्यंत्र रचा कि हमारे यहाँ पे तोड़फोड़ करने का, आक्रमण करने का, स्कूल, प्राइमरी स्कूल तोड़ दिया, महिलाओं के साथ हिंसा होती है, मारपीट, और हम लोगों को यहाँ से उजाड़ने का कि तुम यहाँ से हटोगे। उसके खिलाफ हमने कोर्ट में भी याचिका की थी, उसमें भी कोई खास उन्होंने भी कोई फैसला नहीं सुनाया, वो काफी वैसे ही डम पड़े हैं हमारे अभी तक।
The forest village status for Patrani deprives it of any developmental activities. The villagers are denied permission to make pakka houses, claim old, dried or felled trees in their courtyard, make fencing around their houses, or claim compensation for crop loss, as these areas are considered to be forest land owned by the forest department.
हम मानते हैं कि हम जंगलों से लगे हुए गांव हैं, और जंगलों से जो लगे गांव हैं उनके अंदर बहुत सारी आज समस्याएं हैं। जंगली जानवरों का जो लगातार इंसानों पर और फसलों पर जो नुकसान हो रहा है, उसके साथ ही इस क्षेत्र के अंदर कॉर्बेट नेशनल पार्क के 10 किलोमीटर तक इको सेंसिटिव जोन घोषित करने की जो सरकार की कवायद है, उसमें हमारे हक हुकूक लगातार खत्म हो रहे हैं।
इको सेंसिटिव जोन आप विश्व के लिए, देश के लिए क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, वहाँ के लोग सफर ना करें, उन लोगों को कुछ स्पेशल प्रिविलेजेस मिल जाए, लोग खुश हो जाएंगे। उन लोगों के लिए कुछ सब्सिडाइज बिजली का प्रबंधन हो जाए, या उनको सब्सिडाइज गैस सिलेंडर्स का हो जाए, जिससे कि उनको लगे कि देखो हमने सेक्रीफाइस किया, उसके बदले में हमको सरकार ने ये दे दिया।
Ramnagar district constitutes of 24 such villages where over 20,000 voters can easily decide the fate of any candidate. The issue of forest villages has once again gathered momentum ahead of elections. With Dilip Khan, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
That's all in this edition of our Verdict 2017. I'll see you tomorrow, same time. Thanks for watching.